Okay, so I just found the Whisperer pet. I think her name is Wisp or something in Old School RuneScape, which is pretty massive of an undertaking. But that's not why I'm on, obviously. The Whisperer is... the Whisper is just... Let me adjust my camera. Why I'm working towards... here are my current levels, okay? Okay, so here I am fighting the Revenant Maledictus in the Revenant Cave. I like to use Protect from Ranged. I don't know if that's the right one. But level 91 attack, 98 strength, and 70 defense. I could do like probably about, I don't know, 20% of its health. So I'm there for the loot at like the end, like a few times. So here's me defeating the Revenant Maledictus in the Revenant Cave next to the Revenant Dark Beasts with another party. I actually had to run back, but you don't see that part. And then I also have me fighting him next to the Revenant Dragon. I feel like this was definitely a good recording, considering I got the full fight fully zoomed in addition to me with the Voidwaker, as I was working towards getting my Webweaver, like I mentioned in the rest of the video. But let me skip to the end of this fight, and then skip to the dragon part. Even if you just participate in it, as long as you do damage, I think you get loot. Usually a ton of people show up after the fact, and they all PvP you. So here I was fighting with these stats right here, versus the Revenant Maledictus next to the Revenant Dragons. It like randomly spawns, I'd say about 5% of the time that you're in the cave, whenever you're switching worlds, or staying in the same worlds. So here he is next to the Revenant Dragons. He could spawn here, he could spawn near the Revenant Dark Beast, he could spawn near the Revenant Demons. So here we are defeating him again. Just hit him with a special attack with a Voidwaker. Pretty impressive. Let me check me out. So here are my current stats. Let me show some more stuff. Alright, so I like to use the Voidwaker and the Bandos Godsword in the Revenant Cave, because this has a special attack which reduces defense based on how much damage you do, and this does damage based on your magic level, and it has 100% accuracy, and the damage varies. Obviously, the Bracelet of Ethereum with Revenant Ether, you can use it on, for example, an Ursine Mace, which is only 4 million gold instead of 8 million gold right now. And it does 50% more melee damage against wilderness people, similar to how the Webweaver does 50% more damage versus the wilderness people. But the Webweaver is obviously a bow, whereas the Ursine Mace is a melee combat. So I like to drink divine super combat potions, and my food varies between monkfish, cromboin, manta ray, shark, blighted manta ray, blighted cromboin, bass, whatever I find most convenient. I also like blighted superstores instead of prayers. So let me equip this and the salve amulet, which I got from the Haunted Mine quest, and I'm going to send my alternate account, who is slightly weaker. This is a giant key, not to be confused with the brass key. The giant key lets you fight the giant boss, which is completely... I can't fight him yet at this level. His name is... I don't know. It has 4 letters though. So here are my current stats, and here's my current loadout. So this is me holding my Bandos Godsword. It's a very heavy sword, I think. I think that's what the stats say. A brutally heavy sword. or something like that. You know why? Because this is my Bandos Godsword. And then here's my Voidwaker. So it matches my Salve Amulet. They say that the triangle in it is of some long forgotten hero who is a noob and literally just steals GP from people because he's such a noob. Okay, so alright, so here we go. Let's go to the Revenant Cave. Obviously, I teleported with my Revenant Cave. So, you think about this like chess, okay? So, with the Bandos Godsword and these stats, you could technically go and fight dragons, especially while the dragon bones are worth more outside. Because I could run up to them, activate Piety, which I got by defeating Sir Lancelot. You're not going to get the 100 million gold in this stream, okay? You're not going to do it. You're really not going to do it. So I'm going to activate my special attack on the Revenant Dragon. And you have 2 chances. And you could just reload if you need to. So now that I did some defense damage to him, I'm going to switch over to my Voidwaker, which has a 2.4 millisecond swing rate. Whereas the Bandos Godsword has a 3.6 millisecond swing rate. So it's easy to finish off the dragon after you drop his defense a little bit. So I'm going to be training this entire level right now. Like all 460,000 EXP. Or, no, I'm training this entire level. All 84,000 EXP. Because this character unlocks the ability to use the Bandos Godsword at 75 attack. Okay? Right now I'm both achieving the Bandos Godsword on this account, who doesn't have a sword equipped, he's just punching, and I'm getting the Webweaver before the Coliseum update. Because the Coliseum update is going to be huge. Not only will it introduce an additional bow that will have additional defense draining capabilities, similar to the D Warhammer. That also, I think, stacks with it, which obviously, having such a powerful special attack, that will negate the usefulness or the cheapness of the Lightbearer ring. Because the Lightbearer ring, which I have equipped over here, it recharges your special attack, which you could activate by clicking here, or by clicking here, and it recharges it 15% faster. And it used to be 40 million gold. But then everyone did the Tombs of Amasket raid, and they were able to, while trying to get what was that thing called? The Shadow of Tumakin. While trying to get the Shadow of Tumakin in a random roll, they happened to also collect a ton of Lightbearer rings in the meantime, which they distributed throughout the community. So I didn't even have my Divine Super Combat Potion yet. So let's switch over to that. I could also, right now, I could finish off the Revenant Dragon. Obviously, this guy is fighting Hill Giants. I normally do this while I'm applying to jobs, but I already applied to jobs today for 3 hours. I've applied to 17,000 or 12,000 or 15,000 jobs in my lifetime. Oh, I don't have my game audio on. Now I have my game audio on, I think. I hope. I don't see it in my thing. I hope I have it on. Let me check. Hello. Oh, yeah, my game audio is not reading. I don't know why. But yeah, the Bandos Godsword does way more damage versus the Revenant Dragon. It's such a shame. The game audio should probably be working. Let me go check out my sound settings. Oh, I have a set of speakers. Cool. It's also possible for your Revenant bracelet, Bracelet of Ethereum, to run out of charges with the Revenant Ether. So you could right click and you collect Revenant Ether while you're training in the Revenant Cave. Okay. Yeah, see? So the purpose of the Bracelet of Ethereum is you take less damage while you're wearing it from Revenants. And in the meantime, people could always pop up out of nowhere and they could PvP you. That dragon crossbow that they're wearing has it's worth 1.8 million gold. And I got my early Lightbearer ring. So the best time obviously to fight in the Revenant Cave is between 2 a.m. EST to 8 a.m. EST. But they definitely are on at different times. Obviously, I prefer to fight with my computer, or I prefer to fight with my desktop when I'm using my Voidwaker. Because if I accidentally click on anybody, it's possible I could lose every single item in my inventory, which would be a travesty. Okay, so let's go over here, deposit this. Just gonna take out 2 more Blighted Super Restores, Divine Super Combat. I normally only bring 1 with me, but in some cases I like to bring additional if I plan on staying a little bit longer. Let's just bring full sharks. I normally only bring 10 based on how many I need, but it looks like I need to reload on all of my items right now. So I'm going to buy 20 Divine Super Combats. I'm going to buy a little bit more food, and then I should be GG. Okay. So here we go. Let's go to the exchange. So I'm going to buy Super Combat. So Divine Super Combat, buy 10 of them, increase the price a little bit so it buys immediately. It still didn't buy immediately. It's totally fine. You could expect that. So let's buy 200 shark, increase the price twice, real quick. Cancel my transaction on the Grand Exchange. Let's go to the Super Combat. They also sell Divine Super Strength if you only want to focus on that skill. So let's mark up the price. I'm not joking either. Okay. So yeah, I decided to buy a ton of Runite bolts because I noticed if you go on Google and you search Runite bolts OSRS GE, and you don't select the GE tracker, you select the other one. So I could do another route as well. So I could just fight the knights. So I could just fight these knights, and let's start with a special attack with the Bandos Godsword. Because I could fight even more of them. Or alternatively, in the Revenant Cave, I could just continue and go fight all these other people. Like, I'm going to start this video off. I had me defeating the Revenant Maledictus near the dragons. I had me defeating them near the Revenant Dark Beasts. See, they even drop Revenant Ether. So if you're too dumb to bring it with you, you could even get more bracelets in here. Like always. There's never a time when you don't get more bracelets, right? Or when the bracelet prices don't change, if I'm not mistaken. Like, there's There's no way you have to collect your own Revenant Ether, right? So today I told a few people about the storm in Texas. They're saying wildfires, 95 degrees, tornadoes in Chicago, eastward blowing winds from California's snow. Sounds interesting, because the East Coast just had snow like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Alright, so let's take out the Revenant Dark Beasts. So I damaged his shield a little bit, or his defense, with my Bandos Godsword special attack. So I'm going to continue fighting with my Voidwaker. And it's always possible someone can run into your world and try to attack you. But all you really need to do is turn off auto retaliate, and then switch over, and then use your Ring of Wealth. And you have to time it. They could use Teleblock on you, which you could tell over here. And essentially you need to do the ring right after you get hit, and then you can teleport away. If they don't have Teleblock on you, you're good. You're GG. But if they do have Teleblock on you, you can't teleport away. Unless, of course, you switch worlds, which you're allowed to do as long as you haven't been attacked in the past like 10 seconds or so. So, or you haven't attacked yourself. And by you haven't attacked yourself, I mean you haven't, like, you did not attack another person. There's like an infinite amount of possibilities every time you go into the Revenant Cave. Okay? Like, I once saw a guy, like, he was like the physical embodiment of like me mining amethyst. Like I switched worlds, and like he like ran away, and like I don't even know. He like ran away. The obelisk was like the obelisk. What? Jeez, did they lower my agility that much? So they could bait you too. Okay. So some people they leave like fake items here, and you just have like a full inventory. Okay, and like you're trying to pick it up, but you have to eat your food to actually pick up the stuff. Okay, so let's go over here, switch to the Bandos Godsword. All right, let's get some net up in here. This is like so I mean, in terms of discussing like the entire history of RuneScape, I mean, it's vast, right? They have vampires, they have elves, they have deserts, they have pyramids. They have the God Wars dungeon. They have all the Slayer people that you could fight by training Slayer. It's an action-packed game with dragons. A ton of dragons. They have knights. You can fight Sir Lancelot in the Knights Waves in Camelot. I don't know if this character's quite ready now. He needs way more strength. Alright, let's finish off the knight. So, I think my Bandos Godsword attack wasn't too good to begin with. So, let's try another one. Which is like, so it's like essentially you get a, what's it called? You get like a second chance if your special attack was whack. And in that case, you could just run back, leave the cave, and then come back later. And it's your agility versus that. And since someone hit me with, I guess, maybe an Ursine Mace or something, or I don't know, it looks like my agility already repaired, but my running speed up here, I could drink stamina potions to recharge that. And notice how my divine combat ran out. I'm able to see it because I'm using Rune Light on the Jagex launcher. So my prayer's out, 0 to 70. So I can drink Blighted Super Restore. And the reason I use Piety, which I got by defeating Sir Lancelot, is it increases your attack. And Protect from Melee is traditionally what I like to use. This fight's taking way too long against this knight. Normally it's not this bad. I feel like I'd finish him off way quicker with the Bandos Godsword at this point. Or I could just finish him off real quick with a Voidwaker special attack. Because the Voidwaker, it swings in blood. It just does straight up blood attack. It does like... It's like you're doing an attack exactly when you want to. And yeah, right now it's kind of dumb for me to continue through the cave because I have a ton of loot that I can make gold from, especially at this time of the day when PvPing is common. I can't jump over this agility shortcut unless I train more, and that would take quite a bit of time. I'm working towards the Song of the Elves quest by training my hunter to 70 and my farming to 70, which is going to take an extraordinary effort, similar to doing a Kingdom Divided quest or the Sir Lancelot quest, since the Kingdom Divided quest was like you needed to train thieving to 53, I think, which is like literally impossible. Personally, I would much rather play no, I don't want to play Remnant because like I don't necessarily know where to go, and I upgraded my gun, so now I could go to like more places, and like I could play Horizon Forbidden West, but I think I'm going to play that in a little bit. I'm like not keeping track of when I hit my special attack or not. Yeah, I mean, applying to 17,000 jobs, that's like a ton of fun. You know, I've talked with more people about transportation and real estate than and Twitter weather pages. So the more I'm able to communicate those ideas to people, the better, especially when you factor in my just overall abilities. So I removed my channel trailer from my page because I feel like my YouTube header already has my website in it. So right off the bat, it's way easier. Like if you want to learn about website dev or video editing or options or Salesforce or Microsoft Office, it's all there. Okay. I've written like 5 books at least. Like the real estate firms, they even know people stream, and we're not even upset that like about the message these companies are sending people. Because, like, obviously you want to buy the game, right? But real estate also exists. So, take with that what you will. Yeah, let's attack this dude. Like, there's no way you could, like, target, like, a specific real estate segment, right? Just only gamers. You could just, like, build a society of gamers. You get even more niche, too. Like, a society of gamers who specifically fight, like, certain types of creatures. I think that would be like a much better world, like, personally. I don't know if, like, I'm not entirely sure if that's, like, too, like, facetious, but yeah. Alright, so yeah, I mean, the Revenant Cave is huge. You know how many Revenants I've defeated? I'll show you once someone inevitably shows up. Because Eastern Varrock, in the quest area where you do National History Museum, or National History Quiz. I think it's National History Museum. They have a quest in the Varrock Museum. You also go in there when you're doing Clay Golem. So it has a first floor, which has a showcasing. It's not like the Falador Museum, which is only in Old School RuneScape in Falador, which I showed my Gilded video. That's the Varrock Museum. So I didn't initiate this PvP whatsoever. So I'm totally fine. I don't have to worry about it whatsoever. He initiated it, which put a skull over his head. So if he dies right now, he chances losing everything. So no matter how many Ursine Maces they have, and it's only chancing 4 million gold, like, they still have the option to, like, all use Webweavers together in the cave and farm mad gold from noobs. Okay, so let's go over here. Alright, let's deposit this stuff, and I'm gonna head over to near the Varrock Museum. So let's go here and buy a Varrock teleport. Okay. Nice. Use this. Divine Super Combat. 2 of these. More sharks. Okay. I'm just getting unlucky. My main goal was to get dragon plate legs in this video. And I mean, that could kind of become like absurd. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. I mean, it's just like, you can't be like, that's the end goal. Once 2 dragon plate legs drop in the video, then I'm good, you know? So here's the Varrock Museum. I ran northeast from the Varrock teleport. Okay. So you do Clay Golem. This is where you learn how to enchant ruby necklaces per my ruby necklaces video. See, they've been in here this entire time. It's working diligently. Look at that. See, that's a star. The star of Saradomin. So I'm gonna go downstairs. Oh no, I'm gonna go talk to the. I'm gonna go talk to the collector, and he gives you a log, which lets you view every person you've defeated. From what I've seen, you have collected 50 things in your collection. Alright, so get log. Don't you have one lying around somewhere already? I think you're right. So once you get a log from him, you're able to view how many of particular enemies you defeated. So if, for example, you buy like 3 Webweavers, and then it falls in price from 40 million gold to like 12 million gold, like you're still fine, because like you could just mine Runite with 2 accounts, like while applying. So in terms of Revenants, I've defeated, so you go to other, I think, Revenants. So I managed to get an ancient relic. That's my collection log for the Revenant Cave. I've gotten 7 out of the 14. I've defeated 7,551 Revenants. So since the summer, I think that's either 2,500 or 3,500 since July. So yeah, it takes a while. I got an ancient crystal, ancient emblem, ancient totem. I don't know how I've only gotten 250 bracelet of Ethereums. That sounds far-fetched. I've never got the crossbow, which upgrades to the Webweaver, so this drop will eventually be worth way more. Which is nice, because I got the most expensive drop, which makes sense. Okay, so like, just, I don't know, looking as good as I look and seeing like other people, they got like way worse drops than me. I mean, that's just life. Like, that's what the Revenant Cave is like. Like, I'm sure they have like a formula for like how much you train, you know, somewhere in there, and like you factor that in, and like all the amethyst I've mined. Like, I'm on my way to 99 in mining too. So it's gonna be the trifecta of Bandos Godsword, 99 mining, and Webweaver all at the same time. And then anything additional than that could be like an additional Lightbearer ring for when my friends want to play Destiny, like, for sure. Alright. Notice how I'm playing on 2 accounts right now? Two accounts. I have RuneScape 3 accounts too. You should know this. My hypothesis is all of the server space, they set up one double EXP event, and then they set up the other double EXP event. And they just like downloaded like some random dude's like computer, and they're like, all right, dude, like, you could sit there and just like sit at your computer, just randomly clicking, like yourself getting PvP'd, and meanwhile, like, they could just like swing at like RuneScape 3 dummies, and like you'll get the better items for cheaper. Because deep down we all know, like, there's a reason why I got the ancient emblem. and why you did not get the Agent Emblem drop. Okay. Okay. Wow, these Opal Dragon Bolts are worth... Oh, shit. You could also switch worlds when someone switches to your world. You saw that? You saw that switch? Sometimes you have to do it to them. You just have to leave the world switching open. And they're not even able to... Like, by the time they figure it out, you're already in a different world. You could also fight dragons over here. So I could just do Protect from Magic. And I could just fight dragons while I wait for my special attacks to recharge. So I could just do an all-out assault. I get the dragon bones to sell, and just so many options for like real estate and like moving. But in terms of like RuneScape, you know? And just overall care for like humanity and contributions to society. This is the only way I possibly could imagine improving anything. You know? Hmm. Yeah, so it looks like my special attack fully charged. So I'm wasting my time with this dragon. Because I could just go right in. Run over the dragons. See? Watch. Watch this shit. Ready? Nice, dude. It takes a while to level. The Voidwaker makes it much easier, but I mean the Bandos Godsword is huge. I'm surprised they have it at such a discount. Because, like, at any moment they could sit there and be like, oh, well, this dude doesn't know how to train agility, and he just walks around. Let's just use his computer to mine Bitcoin. And that's what they do. I heard someone talking about, like, going out of your way to become, like, the #1, like, odds person on YouTube, and just have, like, a competition for, like, who's the best at, like, telling the odds. And, like, but, like, in terms of, like, RuneScape, but, like, it's professional. It's like, how many odds thing, like, what are you just gonna go to the horse track and just like factor that into, like, how many things can you possibly factor in? Just start like chasing tornadoes. Just film videos of you chasing tornadoes on your professional YouTube. Do you think it would be rude when you're interviewing someone if they're like, oh, like, why did you wait so long in between your thing? Just to like look at their profile before you interview and just be like, just like talk shit about like a company that they worked for. It's like whichever one it could be. It's like, yo, why'd you work at blah, blah? Like, oh, because I don't want to work at blah, blah. Like a idiot. It's like, what'd you say? Say, I said it. Okay. I stole that one from someone I heard today. I can't switch worlds because I just fought that dragon. Oh my god. I could also alternatively get the Dragon Defender from Birthorp. That's also another possibility. I get the Dragon Defender as a one-hand. So I could fight people with two. Like I could physically stick like a spear like in like my rock solid hand in one hand, and the other hand it could use the Voidwaker. I mean, this is the perfect game to apply to jobs using. And a lot of people don't know that. Or they play RuneScape and they've never been unemployed, because like most people who play RuneScape, they're gainfully employed. And they are positive contributors to society. So they don't really put two and two together, like, oh, you can like apply to jobs while playing RuneScape. Like my one RuneScape friend, he IM'd me and I was like, yo, nobody plays video games. And he's like, I have VR. I was like, oh wow. But like I like pulled out like my YouTube, and I was like, yeah, I'd like to watch like I'm a huge fan. Obviously, for some reason, the Revenant Dark Beasts have been made so that you can sit there way longer some days, especially when Power World comes out. When it came out, you were able to sit there on the Revenant Dark Beast for like so long. That plus like the Voidwaker is just that OP. Because you get magic EXP too. Like I almost gained an entire magic level, plus my ancient emblem. Unstoppable, basically. You usually have people over here catching these Chinchompas. You can actually use these as ranged. On Ape Atoll, Ape Atoll. So if you happen to do Monkey Madness 1 quest, then you could probably safely travel to Ape Atoll, which has an agility course. Obviously, you have to do Hearts from the Deep first. I recommend obviously the Sir Lancelot series. That's the only real, like the Camelot Sir Lancelot series. Okay. Alright. Okay. So it looks like I got some more Runite bolts. My finger's falling asleep, but that's totally fine. I found if like you kind of just ignore it, like you could just like sit there and like you'll be fine. Okay? Especially since like the fact that like you're sitting in your own house. It's basically your fault. And you should probably apologize. Okay? Alright, so yeah, let's continue. I already got the magic beaver. I'll get the magic beaver in this video as well. That had some requests, I think. I think it's in my journal. Not like in the game, but on my website, which is not interesting. People don't really normally do websites. Like you saw the one YouTube video, the toss it in the ute guy. It's like, just toss it in the ute. It's like how many people are, like, you guys live in houses and like making websites? I could have sworn this entire time all of you were listening to the Google Opera. Like, that's what I do. I sit there. It's like, what are the ads? I've been listening to the ads all year. Can I name one of them? It's like Neuromag. Yo, Neuromag is sick, bro. I can't wait for the Neuromag quest in this game. Like, you're just gonna be sitting there. There's gonna be like a huge brain and it just keeps getting like bigger. And like, you're like fighting inside like some dude's like body. Trying to like, it just has all of your RuneScape memories. They're all like distorted though. And you find out that you're Sir Lancelot. Okay. You know they have a mimic token in RuneScape 3. So the mimic token... Oh wow, Commander Zilyana and... the Smoke Devil and the Desert Treasure 2 dude. Oh, Duke Sucellus. Oh, there's Callisto. Okay. I don't really recognize... I don't know what the actual Duke Succulus' name is. It has to be like... It is a good name though. I know that. I know enough to know that it is good. Right? Right, guys? Alright, so... I was trying to get more sharks, but I'm too far away from the GE now for my attack EXP to... Like, my character started moving away immediately. Like, I was trying to maximize however many sharks I had relative to how much health I have, but sometimes you just get pulled away from the GE, especially since your finger's falling asleep. So just trying to name every single creature on this planet is not possible. Commander Zilyana, you actually get to see her in the recent quest I did in RuneScape 3, which was called Gower Quest, in which you see Lucian, and he recommends, after you speak with him after the quest, he recommends Ritual of the Madrat quest. So they have different dialogue if you leave. Like, I actually went out of my way to speak with Vorego, the huge stone dude, who you could see in the Falador, where I show in my RuneScape 3 Christmas video. He doesn't really say much, though, that I understand, but I recorded his conversation after the quest, but I didn't have it on my Twitch, but I have it on recording. Alright, let's finish this dude off. I can't really keep track of my special attacks, and how much damage they do, relative to whether it makes sense to use the Voidwaker or not. Wow, 2 runic head shields. Wow. Okay. So I don't know who's gonna like fall first. My ability to afford a Webweaver, this guy leveling up to the Bandos Godsword, or my external hard drive. Oh my god. high pitched screeching noise. I do that when I forget my wealth ring. I had to suck it inwards though. My friend, he could do it. He's an Audi for screeches. He does it the other way. It's super gay. He's always been a natural in terms of his screeches. He's always... I don't know how he does it. So I could just run back, or I could get an obelisk. So in the wilderness, you could use the obelisk. So the Revenant Cave is located... So annoying, dude. You always have to remember which side of the hill it is. I'm pretty sure it's this side, because it has all the skeletons. Oh, here's a mage of Zamorak. I've never talked to this guy before. I think I have to go this way, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Always east of the river. Yeah. They have a huge quest that just talks about, like, this specific spot in the river. And, like, the guy, his name is East of the River. Like, he's your dad in the game. And you fight, like, a huge dragon. His name is West. West of the river. Like, you literally can't mess it up. I think some people are trying to do vampire hunters recently. I've been noticing they've been laying ashes where I've walked. I don't know if, like, they have, like, a certain amount of people who, like, all are unemployed or something. And, like they are just really, like, they're like, oh, bro, you could totally make, like, 150 million gold. Like, all you gotta do is, like, switch worlds and then make him swing at you. And, like, you're GG. Where are my wealth rings at? Oh. I used to have everything assigned to this tab right here. See? So I was able to find everything way easier. Now everything makes sense to me. Now everything makes sense. Okay. You could also lock your banks, at least in RuneScape 3, so the tabs don't change when you take items from a certain tab, because it normally switches back tabs. But you could still always drag around your RuneScape 3 menu windows. However, what I learned from a quest that you would never do in RuneScape 3 is you can go into settings for, I think it's Land of the Goblins. It's after Death to the Dorgeshin in that series, for the Mighty Fallen, which has General Gardor fight, who is the Bandos general, but it's still not Bandos himself, the god, who you see in Dishonor Among Thieves. It has Zonic gets tied to a train track, and essentially you're able to switch your settings to a different thing, and you're able to use, like, old school RuneScape menu. So you can't drag the menu around in RuneScape 3 by enabling the setting in that quest as part of the series for the Mighty Fallen. and land to the goblins and the chosen commander. Alright. So, like, I don't really know the specifics of, like, hand falling asleep relative to, like... So it makes sense to use a special attack if I had a lot of items here that were worth a decent amount, just to finish the fight immediately. However, in this case, I'm not going to finish the fight immediately. In this case, I'm going to wait off a bit, and then I'm going to finish the fight. Because I could just use a special attack on the next dragon, and then finish that fight. Like, why finish this fight when I could just finish the next fight? Okay. Ah! No. Okay. I don't know, sometimes you just want to, like, you just have to win. Because it's, like, decided. Like, my daughter, like, she's, like, 8 at least. And, like, in general, what she does is she, I don't actually have a daughter. But, in terms of, like, we have an argument, I mentioned the Voidwaker. She knows. She understands. Okay. So, here we go. I think my bracelet should be pretty good right now. Let me see if the company's trying to set up an interview now. Because, like, I warned them all about the weather, so they all became fans of my stream. And they don't really want to watch me, because other streamers are, like, way better. But they do know that I stream, so they, like, in general, just, like, wow. Like, my daughter, she's always like, she's like, why can't you say interesting things during your stream and be like them and get more viewers? I'm like, that's not how it works, okay? Alright, those camping trips, we only go camping in, like, that year, okay? If you want to even remotely hear about camping. Like, I don't care if they, like, build the entire arc. Like, every single arc on this planet. Right there. Right? The good thing about the dragons is they are close to here. So before I went on RuneScape, and I was looking at the retweet, I was looking at the tweets, and I noticed there was 3 RuneScapers who right-clicked the reshares, and they checked to see if the reshares were women RuneScapers, which isn't weird, because it is bad out, right? So that doesn't make them weird, right? I think based on what fighting technique you use, he swings it differently. See? You get different stats. Okay. Oof. Wow. Lunge is that good. Imagine. It's like, yeah, bro, every single person who plays this game, they've been lunging. They were doing a study. If you ever watch them stream, it's like, I just want to watch it lunge like quite a few times in a row and just watch this keep going up. Why is he missing? Wow. Okay. But yeah, dude. They're like down bad. Or they're all like super down bad. In terms of like Horizon. Like all the gamers, they're like sitting there. And like, yeah, bro, like what if like we just played like you know? Like what if I just like played Dark Souls, you know? Just like go fight like you know, like RuneScape is total like there's no way. Like RuneScape is definitely relatable. Right? It's not hard at all. Like this dude, he literally played like 20 million games while playing RuneScape. It can't be that bad. And I'm factoring that in. So they're using the traps to capture the Chinchompas. You have to be a high level hunter. But it is possible to get them as a pet. And then you have a 1 in 10,000 chance while changing the color to get the golden Chinchompa.